All right, this is the Sliders versus the Texas Ranchers. Check this point out. Jay Devilliers, that was a tweener. He was off screen. It happened so quick. That was sick. That was a tweener winner. Check this out one more time. Look at this shot. Overhead, slam, tweener. Hits the winner. Kwang Duong usually hooks people. He's like, I got to give that one to you. Coolest part was this made Sportscenter top 10.
Major League Pickleball, Texas Ranchers, Columbus Sliders, Jay Devilliers.
Devilliers.
Oh my
nice
God.
job,
Between
Jay
his legs.
Devilliers.
Can this be an Olympic sport soon? I mean, not in 2028, but maybe 32? Can we do something? Jay Devilliers. Look at
I think he just had volley in his head.
Oh my gosh, between his
The non-Devilliers zone.
Jay
Jay Devilliers is always making it on SportsCenter these days. This was not the only cool point we saw this weekend. We had a ton of great games. I can't wait to get into this one. Welcome to the Sorry Not Sorry Pickleball Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Cali. This week, we're back, finally. I've taken way too much time off. I hate it. I'm happy to be back for one last MLP before we take a break from MLP and transition to PPA. We had a fun weekend. A lot of dream breakers. A lot of good competitive matches. We're starting to get an eye for who's going to be in the playoffs. I'm excited to get into this one. But before we do, if you guys wouldn't mind, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel in case you're not already subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell too. That way you get updated the minute I drop a new episode. Share this show with your friends. We got a lot of friends on the pickleball courts, but there's a lot of people that don't know about the pro pickleball scene, and they're missing out. So share the good news with them. This could be a good way to get them into it. That way they don't have to commit 80 million hours into watching pickleball every weekend. They could just watch this. Also, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this weekend in pickleball. What was your favorite moment? And with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this week's episode.
This is the new and improved forgiveness. Forgiveness is more than saying sorry. Forgiveness.
I'm not sorry I took the money.
All right, before we get into things, I got to give a shout out to pickleballcentral.com. Pickleball Central is the reason why this show is able to exist. So let's go ahead and go support them. Pickleball Central has everything you need when it comes to pickleball. Paddles, balls, shoes, shirts, socks, whatever it is that you need. You can find it all on this one website. A lot of people have been asking me about the Proton paddles. This is the paddle that I use. I love this paddle. And I'm not just saying that. I'm serious. This paddle will last you forever. Okay, maybe not forever, but literally this will last you 4 years. And that's literal. All these other paddles out there, they kind of just wear away after a few months of playing with them. The Proton Series 1, it has this nanotech surface on it. It has not worn away from me, and I've been playing for over a year with it. So it's would you rather drop $200 on a paddle that's gonna have the carbon fiber surface smooth over after just basically a few weeks or a month? Or would you rather pay this, it's $280, but think about how many paddles you would go through in the same amount of time that this one's going to last you. I don't know anybody yet that has a Proton paddle that had the surface wear away. I really don't think it's possible. So go ahead and check out pickleballcentral.com. When you check out, use promo code SNS15. That's SNS15. That's going to help you out a little bit on your order. And not only are you saving a little bit, but you're also helping support this show and supporting a team that helps support the show. All right, day one for Premier. We're going to start with the first game of the day. We got the DC Pickleball team taking on the Dallas Flash. Both of these teams are playoff contenders, so this is going to be a fun one. All right, so we're going to start here. First game for the women went DC's way. So DC is up by a game here. We're now in the men's doubles game. We've got JW Johnson and Augustus Guh taking on Deckelbar and James Ignatowicz. This game is tight. It's 2021. It was pretty close ever since 14-14, and look at that. And Ernie Deckelbar is no. That does not count. That was illegal. I don't know if he was trying to say that he touched the line. So DC up by a point here, 22-21. Dallas Flash really got to get this game so they don't go down 2-0. And check this out. What a speed up. J-Dub hits the counter. We're tied up at 22. So the Dallas Flash end up running away with this one late. They're going to take this one 25-22, which means we're all tied up at one game apiece. It all comes down to mixed doubles. So first mixed match, we got J-Dub and Georgia Johnson taking on Deckelbar and Viv Glosman. And check this out, Dallas up 24-21. Georgia Johnson, she's going to seal the deal for them. Watch this. Let's go. Going right at Deckelbar. She can handle it. So Flash up 1 game. DC still has a chance in this next mixed game. So next mixed match, we're tied up at 20. Tyra Black, Augie Guh taking on James Ignatowicz and Rachel Rohrbacher. This is crazy. Look at this. James Ignatowicz everywhere. Waiting for the overhead. Waits for the bounce. Can't put it away. We're still going. James Ignatowicz is playing all over the court. Finally ends it with a very strong backhand to take the lead 21-20. They're trying to force a dream breaker. So here we go. The score is actually 24-22. Game point for DC. Trying to force the dream breaker, and they do it. James Ignatowicz getting big. All right, so let's get to the dream breaker. We're going to jump here. It's 4-2. DC up. Deckelbar versus Augie Guh. Look at this. Augie trying to put it away. Deckelbar's everywhere. Able to keep getting to it. Backdoor finally gets it done. Tied up at 7. Tyra versus Viv. Check this out. I just feel like Hurricane Tyra Black is always on the ground. Like, always. Literally, the very next point. DC up 8-7. Look at this. Tyra gonna run back and then just can't get to it. She just falls. Just collapses. So DC up 9-7. This game is still pretty tight. Ignatowicz trying to drop one in there. J-Dub getting everything. Keeping him on the run. And look at this shot from James. Wow. Gets it to 10-7. So I got to say, the production quality was absolutely subpar this week. Look at this. This is the same game, just a different camera angle for some reason in the middle of the match. Tweener from Deckelbar. Doesn't work, though. If you look at the scoreboard, that's not correct. Flash up 14-13. Look at this. Georgia Johnson balled out here against Rachel Rohrbacher. Gets that one. Gets twisted. 360. Gets it to 15-13. They're starting to run away. So 2014 match point for the Dallas Flash. J.W. Johnson against James Ignatowicz. Puts it away. They take the game. So 2 points for the Flash. 1 point for DC. Pretty big deal that they won in a Dream Breaker. Even more of a big deal that DC lost in a Dream Breaker because they still get a point. Things are getting tight for the playoffs as far as seeding goes. Every point counts. All right, next up, we're going to go to the match between the New York Hustlers and the Utah Black Diamonds. This one also went to a Dream Breaker, so check this out. Utah Black Diamonds were the worst team in MLP Premier, but then they got Connor Garnett, and things got a little bit better, and he especially comes in handy in Dream Breakers. So here we go, Utah up by a point, 7-6. Alex Strong taking on Kawamoto. It's Jackie. Look at that shot. Ties it up at 7. Jack Sock very thankful because he's not playing well. He needs the help. So here we are at 8-8. It's Jack Sock versus Garnett. Connor Garnett shut him out 4-0 in the first matchup. And look at this, 5-0 against Jack Sock. What can you do if you're Jack Sock against Connor Garnett? How do you get a point off of him? Well, you get him to miss a serve. Classic Connor Garnett. Uh-oh, does he have the yips again? So here we go. Connor Garnett to serve again. He gets it over. He has a chance. Look at this. Connor Garnett. Wow, 7-1 against Jack Sock. That's big. So here we go. It's 19-15 for Utah. Connor Garnett had 2 points won against Jack Sock in this round. But then Jack Sock finally gets one off of him. Match point now for the Black Diamonds. Tyler Loong. That one's long. All right, match point once again. Tyler Loong at 2017. Can he pull it off? Tyler Loong swings, fires. It is wide. Another chance for New York. The GOAT, CJ Klinger on 18-20, trying to get his team back into this thing. Look at that. Tui. Tyler Loong can't handle it. Let's go. 1 point game. 19-20. Leia Jansen serves. Called out. No way. It's challenged. Gosh, I'm so sick of these blurry replays. That one does look out, though. Yeah, that's for sure out. All right, another match point for Utah. Last chance, otherwise they're in big trouble here. Cali Joe Smith can't get to it. We're tied up at 20. Can the Hustlers come back? CJ Klinger, are you pumped? He looks pumped. He looks like he's trying to hide it. All tied up at 20. This is epic. Leia Jansen, gotta come up clutch here. Drops it in. We're playing some cat and mouse back and forth. I love it. Cross court. On the run. Leia puts it away. The New York Hustlers are up 21-20. CJ Klinger. Y'all. Y'all. So Leia Jansen with a chance to win it here. Can she pull it off? Drops it in. Cali Joe Smith can't get it. Leia Jansen hits the angle. CJ Klinger with the biggest fist pump of the day. Let's go. The New York Hustlers complete the comeback in the Dream Breaker. That is a big 1-point swing for the Hustlers. That point might come in handy as we get closer to the playoffs. All right, our third game of day one. We got the Ranchers taking on the Arizona Drive. We're going to start here in the men's game. The women's game, Ranchers were able to take away. So Arizona trying to come up big. Probably their biggest strength is their men's team. The Drive have Andre Diescu. He's back in action. Dylan Frazier as well, taking on Quang Duong, Christian Alshon. And this game was great. Look at that. First off, little tag there, little body bag on Christian Alshon. Couldn't get out of that way. Oh, he's so upset. I love it. Christian Alshon took that personally. Check this out. ATP defended. Stares Andre down. So Arizona Drive, they've got a sizable lead here. It's 16-11 for them. Check this out. Christian Alshon with the Ernie. Gets it to a 4-point game. So it's 18-19 for the Ranchers. Check this out. Can they tie it up? Trying to put it away. Christian Alshon does it. We're tied up at 19. So we got a game point for the Ranchers. They've gotten it to 24-23. And this point was crazy. Arizona Drive got their backs against the wall. Andre Diescu, not the best dinks here, but somehow making it work. He knows he could rely on Dylan Frazier's quick hands. Great dinks from Quang Duong. Check this out. Sped up. Dylan. Great hands. Slowed back down by Andre. We're back to dinking. Andre really good at grabbing those dinks out of the air, though. He's got long reach. Check this out. Puts it in a good spot. Quang Duong gets one out wide. ATP defended. Clean it up. That's out. Tied up at 24. So Arizona ends up with a game point on their end at 27-26. Can they pull it off? Ranchers holding strong. Quang Duong ripping balls. They're getting to everything, though. Diescu, so good at playing soft. Quang Duong, excellent dink, but too wide. Andre hits the ATP and cleans it all up. Look at him pointing to his head. It's like you got to play smart out here. Look at this. Great way to end this game. So we're tied up at 1 game apiece. So we're all tied up at 16 apiece. Arizona Drive struggling to stay in this one, but look at this. Caitlin Christian hits the Ernie. You know, she's always waiting for the Ernie. She's just chilling on that spot. Finally hits one. So tied up 17-17. Dylan Frazier trying to keep his team in it. I will say Arizona Drive have been somewhat of a disappointment this year. I thought that they were going to do a lot better. Sped up by Tina Pisnik. Look at the hands from the Drive. Oh, look at that get from Dylan Frazier. Oh, but he can't seal the deal. So game point for the Arizona Drive. They have a chance to take this one to a Dream Breaker. Texas Rangers are a great team, so this would be really big for them to steal a regulation win from them. That one's off the net. Caitlin Christian, definitely the weaker player on the Arizona Drive team. And we're going to kind of really see that in action. Oh, into the nets. How unfortunate. Tied up at 24. So we end up tied up at 26 apiece. This is getting intense. Frazier drops it in. We're going to get some dinking going. Caitlin Christian, dink to Tina. Everybody getting involved. Good, solid dinks. Making everybody move back. Quang Duong hits one high. Caitlin Christian doesn't do much with it. That one's an overhead. Look at that get. Oh, and then the Ernie to clean it up. What a get from Dylan Frazier to keep them alive. Gets it to 27-26. It's a game point looking to get this thing to a dream breaker. The Arizona drive. Gonna pop one up. Quang Duong, two-handed backhand, speed up. Gets it. We're tied up at 27. So 27-27. Dylan scrambling all over the place. We're going to go for Caitlin Christian. She pops that one up, and Quang Duong makes her pay the price. 28-27 now. Match point for the Texas Ranchers. And so on match point, Texas Ranchers get the speed up. Hands battle. Won by the Ranchers. They take this game 29-27. Take the match in regulation, which means they get 3 points. This is huge. Ranchers on a hot streak right now. All right, next up, we got the Dallas Flash taking on the St. Louis Shock, the two top teams. And look at this. They've made it to a dream breaker. So it's 2-1 here. Hayden Patriquin trying to get the best of J.W. Johnson. Two-handed backhand. He thinks he got it. J-Dub apparently calls it out. Everybody's confused. J-Dub is so quiet. Everyone's like, oh, did he say out? He didn't really say much. Let's take a look. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like it's out. I think that's a good call. So here we are at 7-4. Anna Bright taking on Georgia Johnson. Right now, she's 3-0 against Georgia in this series right here. Anna Bright trying to rip it in. Finally gets it done. 4-0 against Georgia. So Shock up 12-8. Guh taking on Tardio. Look at that. Gets it to 13-8. Georgia Johnson once again taking on Anna Bright. Right here, Georgia won 2 straight points. So it's 4-2 in their series against each other. Georgia Johnson hits one off the net. Anna can't get it. 3 straight points for Georgia. So can Georgia go sweep for sweep on Anna Bright? Anna Bright able to track that down, but she goes back corner. Wow, 4-4 for them. She's just pushing everybody. 16-15 for the Dallas Flash. We got Hurricane Tyra Black taking on Kay Fahey. Kay Fahey out wide. Oh, crashes into the wall. Slams her paddle. Oh, she's so frustrated. Flash get a 2-point lead here. So the Shock got a 1-point game here. Hayden Patriquin against J.W. Johnson. Check this out. Backdoor. Gets it. The inside out shot to tie it up at 18. So here we go. Match point for the St. Louis Shock. It's 2019. Gabe Tardio against Augie Guh. Tucks that one in there and Augie can't get it. So the St. Louis Shock win the Dream Breaker. That's a big win over a big team. That has huge implications for seeding. All right, next up, we got the LA Mad Drops taking on the Utah Black Diamonds. Utah up 2-1. Looking to win this in regulation, which would be big for them because they are the last place team. So they were down. Looked like LA might force a Dream Breaker, and here they come, ready to try and tie it up. Connor. Another serve in the net. At least it's less than what he was doing before, but still doesn't seem like he's completely figured that out. Very next point, 2017, you just know that he's got some extra pressure to play well in every other aspect of the game besides the serve. Utah crushing it there. Get it to 2018. Look at this point. We're going to get a nice drop. Another drive, and then the shake and bake from Alex Strong. So Mad Drops up 21-20. Utah trying to tie this thing up again. This game is close. Connor Garnett getting big. Puts it away. Tied up. Connor Garnett crushing it here late. Look at this. Takes the lead 22-21. So look at this. The Utah Black Diamonds got match point on their paddle. Connor Garnett drops it in. Comes crashing in and off the net. Body bag. Hunter's so pissed. Oh, wow. The Utah Black Diamonds are much better with Connor Garnett. He is really showing that he is a solid player. All right, next up, our last match of day one. We got the Sliders taking on the Shock. Sliders have also been a bit of a disappointment. They're rolling with Jay Devilliers now instead of Connor Garnett. And we'll see if Riley Newman could pull off a win against the top team in MLP right now. Check this out. Lob goes wrong. Gabe Tardio slams it down, gets it to 3-1 here. So the Shock women's team, they were able to take the first game. No surprise there. They were the clear favorites in that matchup. Check this point out, though. My goodness, some amazing gets. How did Riley stay out of the kitchen on that one? Overhead slammed. Riley gets that one. Jay gets that. My goodness. What do the Shock have to do to get a point? What? Hands. Wow. Slowed back down. Is this point ever going to end? Here we go. Some dinking now. Anybody going to speed up? Gabe Tardio. Dinkin, reach in, sped up by Riley. Good choice. So they get it to 6-3. So 5-7 for the Sliders here. Look at that, Ernie. And then another Ernie. Actually, that's a Burt from Jay Devilliers, but that's wide. So Shock up 13-10. Check this point out. We'll start with some dinking. They're going to try and take Jay out with the lob. Scrambles, somehow gets that ball. And Tardio hits it in the net. Wow, what a get from Jay Devilliers. So 14-11, still a 3-point lead for the Shock. Man, but this men's team from Columbus is fun to watch because they can hang. Look at this. Get it to 14-12. So Shock up 18-16 here. We're starting to get deep into this one, but it's a close game. Riley Newman, watch this. He's going to start getting chirpy. Ooh, staring him down. So 18-17 now. Columbus just down by a point. Riley Newman, chirping continues. That's way out again. So 19-20. Sliders trying to tie this thing up. And check this out. We got some nice dinking back and forth. We're getting chirpy here. Riley Newman starts attacking. Firefight.
Couldn't get his body out of the way of that one for game.
Hayden Patrick Quinn just tosses the ball aside. I love it. Riley Newman took that extra personal. Check this out. He's going to try and drop it in. Finally gets up to the kitchen and attacks. Let's go. Puts it away. Sliders take the lead. So the Shock end up with a game point here. Trying to take this match to a 2-0 lead. Look at this. We get some dinking. Riley Newman. He's trying to win this thing right here. Let's go. Firefight. Everybody getting involved. Sliders tie it up 24. So tied up at 24-24. Riley Newman, he's going to play extra aggressive. Let's go. They got game point on their paddle. My goodness, this game is so tight. 25-25 now. Check this out. Hayden dropping it in off his back foot. They get to the kitchen. Some dinking. Gabe Tardio, nice attacking dink. Riley Newman somehow gets back. They're going after him. Puts it in the middle. Riley Newman, look at that. Oh, it's out. He thinks that is the wrong call. So they challenge it. The call stands. It did look like the correct call. And then here we go. Game point for the Shock now. Nice dink there. Riley Newman scrambling. They keep it alive. Good resets. What's going to happen? Shock trying to dink in the middle. Riley dinking to Hayden. Oh, that one's off the net and it goes wide. Oh, what a terrible way to lose that one for Columbus. But the Shock prevail. They get up 2-0. So here we go. Game 3, St. Louis trying to win 3 games in a row so they can get the regulation win. St. Louis up 3 points to nothing here in this game. ATP from Anna Bright, cleaned up by Hayden Patriquin. 4-0. So Shock up 21-16 here. Columbus trying to see if they could pull a game off the number 1 seed. Look at that. Ernie from Jay Devilliers gets it to 17-21. So Columbus just down by 2 points as we get late into this game. St. Louis trying to seal the deal here in regulation. Look at that shot from Jay Devilliers coming in and poaching. Gets it to a 1-point game. So 23-24, Columbus trying to tie this thing once again and prevent St. Louis from taking this game. Look at these gets. Jay Devilliers lets that one go long. We're tied up at 24. St. Louis needs to get clutch here if they want to win this in 3 games. St. Louis, look at that. So the Shock have match point here at 26-25. A rip from Hayden. And look at that. Anna Bright cleans up the pop-up. So St. Louis continues to be the top team here in Kansas City. They win 3-0. The Sliders did take the fourth game, so that could be a factor later in the season if it comes down to a tiebreaker to see who's won the most actual games. But still, the Shock get 3 points in this match. All right, guys, before we move on to day 2, I got to talk about Sheath underwear. Sheath underwear, to me, is the best underwear that you could have while playing pickleball. Whether you're a man or woman, they've got plenty of different choices that you could pick from. I recently just went home to visit family and I was talking to my stepdad. I sent him a pair for Father's Day. And he came up to me and he's like, Chris, that underwear you sent me was incredible. He's like, it's so comfortable. I'm definitely getting more. He said that now when he wears regular underwear that's not Sheath underwear, he hates it. He can totally feel the difference. So guys, go check this out. I'm telling you, you get one pair, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. I refuse to wear anything else. So head on over to sheathunderwear.com, and when you do, use promo code SORRY on your order. That's gonna give you a huge discount. That way you could buy a ton. Just make your whole wardrobe Sheath underwear, just like I do. I refuse to wear anything else at this point. So once again, that's sheathunderwear.com and use promo code SORRY on your order. All right, day 2 for Premier. We're going to start here. The first match of the day, we got the Orlando Squeeze taking on the Dallas Flash. Dallas Flash heavily favored in this one, but I think Orlando Squeeze might surprise us. So we're tied up at 5-5 here in the first game. Hurricane Tower Black and Georgia Johnson taking on Paris Todd and Vivian David. Vivian David is back. She was out for a little bit. Finally, the Orlando Squeeze have a full roster. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Can't put anything away. They're off screen, but they're getting everything except that one. Orlando Squeeze come out on top, take the lead 6-5. So the Squeeze have a tight lead here, 24-23 game point for themselves. Got to seal it here. Feels like the Flash are starting to come back. And look at this, Vivian David gets big in the middle. So they take game 1, an upset. So the Squeeze end up pulling out the men's doubles win as well, which was very surprising. So the Squeeze trying to win this one 3-0. And look at this, Burt from Tyson McGuffin. So Flash up 10-6. And then watch this, Georgia Johnson with the Ernie screams. She's pumped. Get it to 11-6. So Flash getting a big lead. It's 14-9 here. Watch this. Georgia ATP defended and J.W. Johnson cleans it up. Georgia's so pumped. Look at her jumping up and down. So the Flash were up 20-12 at one point. Here come the Squeeze though. Attacking. Firefight. Oh, ends with J.W. getting body bagged. So 2015 now. So Flash have game point on their paddle, trying to win their first game of this match. Can they do it? We're going to get a fun little hands battle here. Let's go. Everybody getting involved. Oh, Georgia comes up short. Squeeze get it to 22-24. So the Squeeze trying to tie this thing up if they can get this point. And how about another hands battle? Let's go. Who's going to pull out on top? Georgia does. Makes up for the last one. They got another chance at their game point. So on game point here, 24-23, the Dallas Flash trying to pull this off so they don't get beat. Hands battle, Scorpion, and then the overhead slam from J-Dub. Georgia doesn't even paddle tap. She goes to her team first. I love it. Chest bump. She celebrates twice as hard because she knows that J-Dub won't celebrate at all. I love it. So game 4. It's all coming down to this. Squeeze trying to win this thing in regulation. Flash trying to force a Dreambreaker. Hands battle. Who's going to win it? Squeeze do. 2-point lead now. And so the Orlando Squeeze, they are going to pull off the upset against the Dallas Flash. That's a huge win. I don't know if it's going to make a difference for the Squeeze, but it certainly might affect the Dallas Flash towards the end of the season when it comes to their seeding. So, interesting upset for the Squeeze to pull off here. All right, next up, we're going to go to the match between the St. Louis Shock and the LA Mad Drops. We're going to start here on women's doubles. We've got Jade Kawamoto and Catherine Parento taking on Anna Bright and Kate Fahey. Check this point out, 4-0 for the Mad Drops. They are the underdog here in this one. And look at that. And a bright bagged. So the LA Mad Drops were up by a significant amount for most of this game. And then here come the Shock, shake and bake. That one's in the net. Shock tie it up at 19. So Shock up by a single point now, 21-20. First time they've had the lead here. And look at this. We'll start with some dinking. Anna Bright getting thrown out wide. Then they try to give it back to Kate Fahey. Anna attacks. Kate trying to attack. The Mad Drops backed up. Catherine Parento trying to get them both back to the kitchen. They do. Catherine, gives Anna Bright a ball that she attacks on, and look at that. Can't even see it, but that was in. 22-20 now. So here come the Shock. Look at this, dropped in. Kate Fahey attacking. She plays so aggressive. Paired up well with Anna Bright, who cleans that up. 23-20 now. This game had so many firefights. I mean, it just seemed like all four players just swinging as hard as they can, especially the Shock. Check this point out. We'll start with some dinking. Anna Bright, backhand dinks, looking good. Kate Fahey trying to poke one in there. And then look at this, aggressive dink. Anna tries to go middle. Not able to get it. Swings, fires so hard. Mad Drops getting everything. Another big swing from Anna Bright. That one's successful right down the middle. 24-20. Game point for the Shock. So the Mad Drops down by 2 here. Trying to get back in this thing. Look at this. Firefight. Slowed back down. Aggressive dinks. This point right here was just the most insane one from this entire match, I would say. Look at this. Just aggressive. Putting the Shock back. Anna tries to poach that. Not successful. Kate Fahey on the back baseline. They're hitting everything to her. Anna's scared to poach anything. They know they'll go backdoor like that. Soften back down. We got some dinking. Don't worry. We'll speed things back up in just a sec. Here we go. Good defense by Kawamoto. On their back heels, trying to drop it in. Catherine coming up. Fires. Firefight. Let's go. What's gonna happen? Oh my goodness. We're still going. This point is sick. Kawamoto dropping it in again. Aggressive dink. Oh my gosh. I can't deal with this right now. Somebody do something. Fires and the net. Mad Drops come out on top of that one. What a rally. 23-24. So we're tied up 24-24. This first game is so intense. I swear, this is so much fun when you got four players who are ready to just swing as hard as they can. Oh, look at the hands battles. Let's go. This is what we love pickleball for. Slowed back down. Great dinks. Good get by Anna there out of the volley, and that one's out. Shock got another chance to take this first game. So game point for St. Louis. Drive by Anna. Another drive. Finally a drop. We're in. That one's out. The Shock come back and win this one in extra pickle points. 26-24. Next up, we got men's doubles. Hayden Patrick and Gabe Tardio taking on Hunter Johnson and Blaine Hovenier, I think is how you say his name. I have no idea. I didn't know who he was until he was on the Mad Drops, but he's filling in for Thomas Wilson, who's on the IR. And check this point out. So it's 22-21. Shock up by a point here. An ATP from Hayden. That's off Blaine's paddle. They get it to 23-21. So 23-22 here. Check this out. This ball is going to go in the net. And let's watch Hayden Patrick talk smack. I don't know what he's saying here, but I think it really upset Hunter Johnson. Game point now for the Shock. So check this out. Game point. Shock are going to pull this one off. And then watch Hunter Johnson flicks the ball at Hayden Patrick. So the Mad Drops in the third game are going to take it as well. 25-20 in mixed doubles off of another football by Blaine. He is known for his footballs. He's got some big feet, this dude. Speaking of Blaine Hovenier. Yeah, that's got to be it, right? Anyway, speaking of Blaine, he was traded after this weekend. Shout out to Eric Tice. He works at the Dink. So Blaine was filling in for Thomas Wilson. Since he was like on the IR, the Mad Drops were actually able to take him as a player. Normally, if you're just like filling in as a reserve for somebody who's injured for one match or one event, you could only fill in for that one event and then the team can't ever use you again. But if you place a player on the injured reserve list, you can actually get a player who's not signed and keep them. And so basically what they did was they now traded him to the Las Vegas Night Owls for Anderson Scarpa and some money. The Mad Drops aren't going to actually play Anderson Scarpa most likely. The waiver wire period's coming up, so they're going to drop him. So basically they knew that they're getting Thomas Wilson back. So they're like, all right, well, if we have Blaine, let's sell him for money while we still have him signed. So smart move. And kind of cool that Blaine is going to get to play for the Night Owls. He definitely proved himself that he is a capable player. He did okay in Premier. He's definitely going to do really great in Challenger. All right, next up, we're going to go to the Texas Ranchers and Columbus Sliders. We're going to start here in Game 2. The Texas women took Game 1. And here we got game point for the Columbus Sliders. Jay Devilliers and Riley Newman crushing it against Christian Alshon and Quang Duong. They take this one 25-16, so we're tied up one game apiece. So Texas took the third game in mixed, and now we're going to game 4 to see if Texas could pull off the regulation win or if the Sliders could force a dream breaker. Check this out. Christian Alshon getting big, celebrates, drops the paddle in the kitchen. Riley's like, wait a minute, that's a fault. I don't know. Let's see that again. Swings so hard, and he kind of dropped it on the swing. I don't know. He tried to make it seem like he was just celebrating. So Ranchers game point here, 24-21. Riley Newman and Coop kind of close, but Etta and Christian Alshon, great mixed team. They take this 25-21. Texas gets the win. 3 points for them.
Well, I mean, first off, I thought I left Florida to get out of the heat. What is this, guys? Come on.
How long do you think he was sitting on that? Just waiting all weekend to be able to drop that silly joke. I thought I left Florida for the heat. What's going on here?
Well, I was lucky to get on board with Collin. He helps me a lot just to understand the game. It is different than tennis, so...
I don't want Collin to be a good coach because I'm not a big fan of him, but she does shout him out a lot. So since I wasn't able to do an episode last MLP, I do want to touch on this real quick. While we're on the subject of Collin Johns, a lot of people noticed that when they were playing in Salt Lake City, Collin and Ben really did not seem to care. They seemed like they were out of it. Games were being shown on ESPN and they just clearly were not trying. It seemed like Ben was just trying to hit the ball as hard as he could. It was really odd. So according to King of the Court, Jimmy Miller, somebody close to Collin had texted him and said, hey man, that was kind of a bad look. Why are you pouting and basically not showing too much enthusiasm or really effort at all? And this was his response. He said, I despise MLP for a variety of reasons. Basically, he ended up listing 8 different reasons why he doesn't like MLP. You could read this in the King of the Court newsletter. It's on the Dink website. A bunch of people were tweeting about it. Some of the things he said were fair. Most of them, though, were a little bit ridiculous. My favorite one is players, owners, GMs, and fans are permitted to behave in the worst ways at MLP. It's because of the culture. You can scream, stare down, finger wag, taunt, cheat, and use pretty much any Bush League tactics you want with very little risk of repercussions. It brings out the worst in people. And players who are normally quarterfinal level suddenly act like tough guy jackasses just because they have a better supporting cast than another top player. What a baby. They were being mean to me. Why did they cheer against me? Anyways, he ended up concluding it with, we will fulfill our contract duties and sign paddles and go chase the Vulcan ball around on court if necessary, but don't expect us to enjoy doing it. So Carolina wasn't at this event in Kansas City, but moving forward, I'm excited to see Collin Johns be a bit of a sourpuss. All right, next up, we got the Arizona Drive taking on the New York Hustlers. We're going to jump here to game 3. So we're tied up one game apiece. Arizona Drive looking to tie this thing up. It's 22-23. Check this out. ATP They call it wide. Andre thinks that they tied it up. We're going to get a challenge. Let's see on our blurry replay.
That's close, Michelle.
That looks like it is out. So game point for the New York Hustlers. We'll start with some dinking here. Leia gives one to Andre. Speeds up. Jack is there for the counter. Finishes. It's 25-22. New York Hustlers have a chance to win this. So it all comes down to CJ Klinger and Jackie Kawamoto. So 4-4 here. We're all tied up early on. CJ Klinger getting big. Awesome to have a lefty on your squad. Look at this, attacking everything. Oh, covering so much ground all over the place. My goodness, it's just him playing. Jackie's just there for support. ATP. Oh, Dylan almost gets that one in. Hustlers take the lead 5-4. So the Drive have a bit of a lead. It's 19-16 here. Back foot drop from Dylan. He gets to the line. Caitlin Christian. Oh, little miscommunication. They work it out, though. Caitlin Christian, she's just going to sit on the sideline, wait for the Ernie. Nails it. They get it to 20-16. 22-16 is the score here. Dylan Frazier was just driving the ball and hitting winners. Look at this. 23-16 now. They're looking good. So the Drive got a lead here. Game point. Trying to get this thing to a dream breaker. Dylan Frazier, the poach, gets it. They take it 25-23. We're headed to a dream breaker. So we'll jump in here. It's 12-4 for the Drive. And look at this. That one is going to be long. Doesn't look like Dylan called it out from that angle. Jack is trying to say, wait a minute, hold up. He looked to the sideline before making the call.
So we're going to need to call the tournament director because that's not something that we can review because...
I love this. He's like, we got to call the tournament director because I don't know what to do here. Jack is like, look, he played it, okay? Andre's like, dude, just take the ball. You know what? We got a big enough lead. You can just have it. We don't even need that point. So 7-14 for the Hustlers. They are down big, and look at this point. CJ, what a get over Andre's head. He is not easy to lob. He's up at the kitchen line and hits the winner. 8-14 now. So it all comes down to this. It's 2012. Jack Sock versus Dylan Frazier. Jack Sock trying to get his team back into it. They are down big. And look at this point right here. Firefight. Dylan stares him down, kind of. He's like, yeah, was that one out? Nope. So the Arizona Drive pull off the Dream Breaker win. Look at Dylan Frazier. I wish he kind of did really stare him down and get aggressive, but he's too nice for that. All right, next up, let's go to the Black Diamonds taking on the Shock. We're going to start here in Game 2. Shock women took Game 1, and look at this. In Game 2, Aiden Patrickin, body bag on Tyler Loong, chirping at him too. So Black Diamond serving here, it's 5-7. Tyler Loong coming in, driving, dropping from Garnett, dink out wide. Oh, that one just makes it over. ATP, Connor Garnett. Oh, that lob is over his head. Tweener from Tyler Loong. Oh, but they can't come up with it. So the Shock go up 8-5. So 12-8 here. Shock up by 4. And Connor Garnett's going to hit one lob right there. Gabe Tardio able to handle that one. And then how about a second lob? Handles that one too. Tyler Loong is there. And then look at this. Gabe Tardio with the Ernie. Wow. 2 lobs in a row from Connor Garnett. Good get by Tyler. But then Gabe Tardio flies in out of nowhere. 17-11 here, and watch this. Tyler Loong. I don't know what he said to him, but they're chirping. He's talking to the bench too. So the Shock are going to take this one by a big margin. It's game point here, and look at that. They win it 25-15. So next, we'll jump to our first mixed match. We got Tyler Loong and Cali Joe Smith taking on Anna Bright and Hayden Patrickin. Oh, Tyler Loong chirping. Get out of here. Gosh, I wish we had better on-court mics. Check this point out. We're tied up at 12 here. First off, Hayden and Anna are a great mixed team. They should win this game. Tyler Loong Look at him. I don't know what he's saying, but I love the chirping. Him and Hayden Patrick just going back and forth is fun to watch. I mean, look at this. 81% chance of winning for the Shock in this game 3. So Black Diamonds up 14-13. Check this point out. This is insane. Tyler Leung just playing all over the place. Watch this. Sped up by Anna Bright. Oh, off the net. Tweener! What? Tyler Leung hits the winner and screams. I have never seen him scream so loud. Look at this. The tweener, and then finishes, and then just screams and gets in their face. 15-13. Tyler Leung is on fire. Check this out. So we're going to get some speed ups. Hayden's going to try to go at Tyler Leung in just a second here. Watch this. He's going to speed up. Oh, not there. Here it is. And Tyler able to get there. He's just like, come on, man. Really? How many times? How many times? How many times are you going to try the same thing? So we're tied up at 16. We're going to get some dink in. Cali waiting for her chance. She's going to hit the Ernie. Nails it. So Black Diamonds up by 4 points here. It's 21-17. And then watch this. The chirping continues. I love it. That ball.
Oh, man. Not a ball that...
Tyler Leung, that ball's way out. Oh my gosh, that ball's so out. So Black Diamonds up 23-20 here. Shock starting to make their way back. Tyler hits him with the uh-oh. So Shock serving here. It's 22-24. And check out what happens here. I want you to listen in. Tyler Leung is going to speak at a time where he probably should not speak. Coming up in just a second. He says uh-oh in the middle of the point. It might have been a little bit of a hindrance. I don't know. Either way, they do have somewhat of an argument here, so this point is going to continue on for now. But watch what happens when it's over. Hayden Patrick is waiting to explode. Hayden's like, you cannot talk in the middle of the point. So they let it go, and it's a game point for Utah. Could they pull off the upset? They had a 19% chance of winning. Hayden doesn't even battle tap with Tyler. Goes right to the ref. So the Shock trying to fight their way back into it to get the clean win. But they've got a huge gap to cover. And check out this. Alex Strong getting everything. Screams with the lean-in scream. So another game point for Utah. Looking like they're going to pull it off. Can we head to a dream breaker? We are! Wow! A chance for a huge upset. Already a big deal that Utah is able to get at least 1 point in this match. So to the dream breaker we go. Utah up 2-0 against Hayden Patriquin. And look at this point. What a get from Connor Garnett. Chases that one down 2 off the net. Two-handed backhand. Oh, he can't come up with the next ball. So the Shock break away. They got a 5-point lead here. Match point on Anna Bright's paddle against Alex Strong. Anna Bright just puts it in the perfect spot. Alex has no answer. So the Shock win against the Utah Black Diamonds in the Dream Breaker. Very important that they missed out on a very important point. They got 2 points instead of 3. Again, this is a team that is looking for that number 1 seed down the stretch. It seems like it's going to be either between them or the Flash. Maybe New Jersey could come into play, but still, you can't help but feel like 1 point could make a difference in the end. All right, next up, we got the LA Mad Drops against the Orlando Squeeze. We're tied up 1 game apiece. We're here in game 3 for mixed doubles. Vivian David and Federico Staksrud taking on Jade Kawamoto and Hunter Johnson. And watch this. Hunter Johnson is going to get absolutely blasted by a ball. Coming up in a second from Vivian David, of all people. She's like the nicest person ever. First off, ATP, and then bam! Oh, gosh. Oh, that looked like it hurt so bad. He's so mad. It must have hurt because look, he goes into the cooler and pulls out an ice bag. Well, I don't know if it's ice. It's like cold water or something in a Ziploc bag. Oh, he got beat up in the face. So the Squeeze got a 24-21 lead here And watch this. We're going to see a sick ATP from Fed. Oh, for the winner. So the squeeze up 2-1. So the squeeze up 22-20 here. Paris trying to drop it in and get up there. We got some dink in to Paris, to Blaine. Paris fires. Oh, and the counter at Tyson's head. What a body bag from Blaine. Check this out one more time. Tyson McGuffin right in the noggin. So 2023 for the LA Mad Drops, and check this out. Tyson McGuffin was ready for this. The Burt cross-court winner to get it to a match point. So match point at 24-22. LA trying to force a dream breaker if they could get this back into it, and that one pops out of bounds. 25-22, the Orlando Squeeze get this in regulation. So 3 points for them. That's big. All right, before we move on to day 3, I got to give a shout out to Aim at Pickleball. Aim at Pickleball is this training tool that's really incredible. So basically, it's like this little square that you could set up and angle the right way. You put it on the court and you hit pickleballs through it. Seems pretty simple, but honestly, this thing is going to help you train way better than anything else. I see most people trying to train with like cones or, even just like putting a water bottle down on the ground. That's not really the most effective way to train your shots. Because when you think about it, when you're playing a game, you're not aiming for a spot on the ground. You're aiming for different angles. Sometimes that's not on the floor. That's up in the air at a certain way. So if you have Aim It, that's going to help you train the proper way. I use it myself. I've worked on my drives. I worked on drops, different dinks. You could do the same thing. Whatever you want to work on, this is going to help you do that. So whether you're trying to just get better at your rec matches with your friends, or you're trying to train for a tournament, you need to have this. So head on over to aimatpickleball.com. And when you place your order, use promo code SORRY. That's going to give you a huge discount on your order. That way you can get one of these. Super easy to pack up and take with you to the courts. Once again, that's aimatpickleball.com. Use promo code SORRY at your checkout. All right, next up, we got day 3, the final day for this weekend. We're going to start at the first match between the Arizona Drive and the DC Pickleball team. We'll start here in game 1, men's doubles. We got Andre Diescu and Dylan Frazier taking on James Ignatowicz and Deckelbar, or as Michelle McMahon likes to call him.
Here's a look at Deckelbar. They call him Big D.
2-1.
Gotta love that nickname. So DC up by 4. It's 16-12. Big serve from Deckelbar. This is a fun point. They're going to drop their way in. Get some dinking. Sped up by Dylan. Fire fight. Let's go. Finished by Andre Diescu. They get it to 16-13. So the drive down by just a point. Trying to tie this thing up. Fire fight. Let's go. Slow down. We're back to dinking. What's going to happen? And Deckelbar with the speed up. The pop up. James finishes. Game point for DC. Deckelbar to serve. They're going to drive the third. Come in for the 5th, and they take game 1, 25-23. So we go to game 2. We'll come here. Check this point out. This was kind of interesting. It's 14-16 for DC, and Vivian Glossman's going to have to serve. We don't see it at first, but a foot fault is called immediately on the serve. So check this out. She's too wide on the court. You can't see it from that angle. So it's just a redo. No point lost. We try again, and watch this. Another foot fault. They're like, what? What is happening? What do we do? That's a loss of a point. The ref is trying to tell her, you're way out wide. You can't do that. Can they come up with a better name than foot fault? It's just confusing because you're like, did something happen in the kitchen? Did I step on the line? Did I go outside the line? Look at that. That is outside the line. I've never seen this happen in pro pickleball. I see it happen all the time in rec play. So now it's 19-20. 1-point game, but we get even more controversy. Check this point out. This is kind of a weird situation. So we'll start with some dinking. Straight on. We go cross court. And then watch what happens here. It's going to be ATP.
Yeah, she did it. Wait, but I got it in. But she called it. I'm telling her no.
They're like, what? You called it out, but she hit it. Let's take a look. Looks like the ball bounces out first and then hits her paddle. So DC ends up getting it to a match point, 24-22. This one's pretty close. And that one's in the net. So they take game 2. They're up 2-0. So game 3, DC looking to win this thing in regulation here. Rachel Rohrbacher, James Ignatowicz against Dylan Frazier, Caitlin Christian. And look at this ATP from Rachel. And so DC, they're able to take this one in 3 games straight. They win this one 25-20. Next up, we got the Dallas Flash taking on the Columbus Sliders. We'll start in game 1, men's doubles. Look at this. Riley and Jay in the red unis, chirping at 2 of the quietest players in the game. Look at this, just screaming at Augie. So Sliders up 15-14. Newman dropping in. They get to the kitchen. Sped up by Jay. Here we go. Firefight. Who's taking the middle balls? They figured it out. Oh, Jay comes up short, hits the net. Dallas ties it up at 15. So the Dallas Flash 1-point lead, game point on their paddle. Can they pull it off against Riley and Jay? J-Dub kind of pops that one up. Riley speeds up, firefights in the net. Augie kind of stares down Riley at the end there. I love it. So the Flash absolutely destroyed Columbus. They won it in 3 games, but here we are in the 4th. They're going for the clean sweep. The Sliders were up 24-18, had a game point on their paddle, and they let the lead slip. It is 26-26 here. And look at this. The double Ernie from Tyra to take the lead and a chance at a sweep point. So game point on 27-26. Tyra drives. Here comes Augie, finishes. They win it 28-26. The only match that ended in a sweep. Could come in clutch at the end of the year if they need a tiebreaker. Look at that necklace from Georgia. That thing is awesome. All right, next up, we got DC Pickleball team taking on the Texas Ranchers. 2 teams that are for sure in the playoff hunt. And we're going to start here. It's game 1, women's doubles. It is 11-8, and look at this. Tina Pisnick may have hit an out ball there. And we're going to continue on. A great lob by Vivian Glosman. And then a short little drop. Tina Pisnick pissed. Tosses the ball. So DC up 24-18, trying to take this first game against the Ranchers. Let's go. DC hanging in there. Ranchers putting on the pressure, and there you go. Vivian Glosman attacks and wins it. So 25-18 for DC. So game 2, men's doubles. We're here at 9-12. DC down by 3, and look at this. The Burt from Deckelbar gets it to 10-12. So 14-10 here. Ranchers up by 4. Kwang Duong. He's good at dinking, but he hits sharp angles, and it leads to ATPs like that. From James Ignatowicz. 3-point game. So Ranchers up 15-12. Watch this. Kwang Duong just ripping balls. Drops that one. But Kwang's going to get another chance, and he's going to rip it at Deckelbar. Body bag. Christian Oshon screens, and then he's like, oh, you know what? Sorry, that was kind of messed up. I screamed. Got him good. So DC down by just 1 now. 14-15 for them. James Ignatowicz. Look at that smack. Somehow the Ranchers get it. They move up. Deckelbar is going to hit one off the net for the winner. Oh, he got lucky there. So we're tied up at 15. Okay, I totally got the last score wrong. It's actually 13-17 here. I don't know why it's so hard to keep score on the scoreboard. But regardless, DC down by 4. Check this out. Kwang Duong, sharp angles again. Oh, Christian Alshon cleans up, screams at James Ignatowicz. So this game is getting close, 17-19. Kwang Duong's dad watching stoically for his son to try to pull off this win. Look at that, Deckelbar, so pumped. So is their coach, Kyle McKenzie. Fist pump. So 19-20 for DC, looking to tie this. James Ignatowicz, one of the best serves in the game. That's returned in the net. They tie it at 20. Very next point, Deckelbar, also a big serve. Watch this. This one's in the net. Back to back. Returns into the net. They take the lead off of that. So we're tied up 22-22. Big serve again in the net. DC takes the lead. So DC up 24-23. Is Deckelbar going to go for a big serve again and try and win it off of that? He does, and it's long. So we're tied up off of a missed serve. Kind of begs the question, is it worth going for a big serve? Do you change up your strategy when it's game point? They did get a few points off of the serve, so I don't know. Personally, I think you got to stick with it and go for it. Unfortunate for them, though, because now they lose that opportunity. So this game is locked up at 25-25. How awesome. Drop into Ignatowicz. He's going to dink it to Quang Duong. He tries to fire on the Ranchers. Firefight. Ranchers come out on top. Another game point. Now for the Texas Ranchers. So here we go. Can the Ranchers tie this match up 1 game apiece? Or is DC going to come back and get 2 games on the Ranchers? Quang Duong speeds up, firefight, he finishes! 27-25, Ranchers tie it up, 1 game apiece, let's go! So here we go, mixed doubles. We got DC up 23-18. James Ignatowicz and Rachel Rohrbacher against Christian Alshon and Marietta Wright. Look at that winner.
Gets the Ranchers out of position, but
they went Bert for Bert. Kind of cool. So DC Pickleball team, they've got game point, trying to get up 2 games to 1. Can they pull it off here? Christian Alshon applying the pressure. DC hanging back, not able to get up. Good lob from Rachel to buy them some time. That one's off the net. Christian handles it. We're going to have some dink in here. And then here we go. And wait for it. Gonna get a dink to Christian Alshon. And we're gonna get a dink out wide. ATP defended by Christian. How did he get that? Etta missed. And then watch this. Christian Alshon finishes. 20-24 now. DC not able to pull it off. Texas is still in it. So Ranchers just down by 2. Serving here. They're going to drive. Trying to drop that in. Look at that overhead from James, and somehow Etta Wright handles it. Christian Alshon getting big. Not able to finish with any of these. They're going to go back to dinking. Christian Alshon looking to poach something. Etta attacking dinks, and then look at the Ernie. Backhand from Christian Alshon to get it to 23-24. So, for the 3rd time, DC has a chance to take this game. Texas not going to let it happen. Watch this rally. Christian Alshon overcommits on the Bert. Etta able to cover the other side. And then watch this get. Etta tries to drop it in and then backhand somehow stabs that one and keeps it in. Wow. Texas ties it up at 24. DC with another chance here though. Game point once again. Rachel drops it in. And then here comes James Ignatowicz with the finish. They take this game 26-24. That could have easily swung the other way to the Ranchers. So game 4. It's all going to come down to this game here. DC down 2-3. They tie it 3-3 on the Bert from Deckelbar. So close game here. Ranchers down 5-6 early on in game 4. Tina, the reset queen. We'll start with some dinking. Off the net, Tina able to scramble and get to it. Dinks continue. Wait for it. This is a fun rally. Lob. Look at that get from Tina, and then Quang Duong finishes. Tied up at 6. So this game remains close. 2019 for DC. And look at this drive and then a drop from Deckelbar. He's going to try the Ernie. Vivian Glossman can't finish with the next ball. So Texas ties up at 20. So 23-23. DC trying to win this in regulation. Texas Ranchers trying to get this to a dreambreaker. The lob. Vivian Glossman slams it down. Nothing Quang Duong can do. So match point for DC against the Texas Ranchers. Deckelbar drives it and Quang Duong hits it in the net. So they take this one 25-23. They win the match 3-1. What a fun match. All right, the last premier match of the weekend is the Orlando Squeeze against the New York Hustlers. We're going to start here. Women's doubles. The Orlando Squeeze men's team were able to take game 1. And so here we go into game 2. Orlando looking to have pretty solid win against a good team, the New York Hustlers. So the Hustlers did have game point here on their paddle, but the Squeeze were able to tie this thing up. So the Squeeze here tied 24-24. Both teams looking to get to a game point. Leia Jansen attacks, able to pull it off. So the Hustlers, once again, have a game point. So the New York Hustlers, able to capitalize this time in extra points. They're going to win this one 26-24, so we're tied up 1 game apiece. So the Hustlers end up winning the first mixed game. Here they are in the second one, trying to get a regulation win. Match point. They pull it off. Hustlers over the Orlando Squeeze 3-1. All right, next up, we're going to talk about the Challenger League. All right, guys, before we talk about Challenger, I want to give a quick shout out to John Q. I was able to hop on KewCast a few days ago, talked a little bit about MLP. We're going to do this on the regular, so make sure you go subscribe to KewCast and check out his channel. He does a lot of great stuff with paddle reviews. Right now, he seems to be like the top guy as far as talking paddles go. So definitely check out his channel, go subscribe to that. Also, if you didn't see the live debate that I did, you have to check this out. It was awesome. We had Travis Rettenmeyer, Tim Parks, and Caitlin Kerr, and things got spicy. It was a lot of fun, so make sure you go check that out. And real quick, one last plug. If you guys value what I'm doing here and you want to help support the show, consider checking out the Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you can help support what I'm doing here. I enjoy doing this so much, but I got to tell you, it really makes it worth it when people are extra supportive through Patreon. Speaking of those extra supportive people, we got Jack, Joanna, Lisa, and Robert. They're donating $5 a month at the Cringe Shin Alshon tier. We also have Allie, Eddie, Jason F, Jason C, Jeffrey, Nick, and the Pickleball Jones, all donating $10 a month at the Catherine Perrin tier. Big shout out to Rob M, donating $20 a month at the Annalie Waugh tier. And man, Joshua dropping a 50 spot in the Zane Navra tier. Guys, thank you so much for all the support. Once again, if you're interested in supporting the show as well, check out the link in the description below and become a member on Patreon. Now I'm just gonna kind of fly really quick through the Challenger League. I'm gonna show some highlights, show some of my favorite moments. My favorite moment from Challenger League, probably my favorite moment from the whole weekend was this.
Commanding lead.
Yeah. I think Megan...
This is Martin Emmerich telling his wife, Tammy Emmerich, another pickleball player.
Martin Emmerich parenting.
Hey, our daughter is running away. I have game point on my battle. Can you go grab our daughter from escaping the facility? So day 1 for Challenger was pretty interesting because we had 3 matches and all 3 ended in a Dreambreaker. As you can see right here, California Black Bears haven't been doing too well this season, but they're able to pull off the Dreambreaker win here against the Bay Area Breakers. Bay Area Breakers were looking like the best team in Challenger, maybe like the top 2 team. And then they traded 3 out of their 4 players all of a sudden. And now, well, I mean, they lost to the California Black Bears. So I'll put it that way. Very next match for the Black Bears, again, find themselves in a Dreambreaker. This time against the Atlanta Bouncers. Brendan French coming in clutch. And then finally, the last match of the day, the SoCal Hard Eights, who have been on fire. Once again, beating the Bay Area Breakers. And look at that punt from DJ Young. So pissed. He kicked it so far. Oh, it almost landed in the stands up there. Day 2, we got another Dreambreaker to end the day for challengers. SoCal Hard Eights are going to win it against the Chicago Slice. Other matches for this day, the Atlanta Bouncers over the Bay Area Breakers, Chicago Slice over the Black Bears, and the SoCal Hard Eights over Atlanta Bouncers. Day 3, we started with the Slice getting a clean sweep over the Breakers. We also had this Dreambreaker, the SoCal Hard Eights, over the California Black Bears. Black Bears were getting into every Dreambreaker, it seemed like. And to end the day and the weekend for Challenger, the Chicago Slice are going to win in a Dreambreaker against the Atlanta Bouncers. Also, while we're on the subject of the Atlanta Bouncers and the Challenger League, check this out. There was a trade that went down. The Black Bears traded Susanna Barr to the Atlanta Bouncers for Jeannie Arakina and cash. So basically, Atlanta Bouncers paid to get Susanna Barr. Probably a solid addition. Jeannie Arakina, great player. Susanna Barr, most likely slightly better. So real quick, let's take a look at the final standings after this weekend. Shout out to Real Clear Stats. He's the best with this stuff. He's ranking the teams based off of points per match, which is how you have to do it. As you can see, the Shock, the Flash, the Rangers, they're the top 3 teams, but they only have 5 games remaining. The New Jersey Fives at the 4 spot, they have 14 games left to play. That's insane. Most notable thing on here is the break between the 6th seed and the 7th seed. Top 6 teams are going to make it to the playoffs. So it looks like we've pretty much got that carved out who those playoff teams are going to be. There's still time left to see an upset, but the top 6 teams are pretty much trending upwards. Now it's just a matter of seeding. Let's also take a look at the Challenger League. Still a lot of games left to play. SoCal Hard Eights, huge jump up. Same for the Chicago Slice. This is definitely a little bit more interesting as we go further along in the season because it seems like the teams are a little bit closer together, except the Black Bears. They don't even have a point per match. That's why they're like, yeah, you know what? We'll take the money for a trade. We might as well make a profit if we're not going to win. All right, well, that's going to do it for the recap of all the matches this weekend. But coming up next, we got to do Hook of the Week. All right, Hook of the Week is brought to you by Close Call Replay. So in case you don't know, Close Call Replay is a production company that's offering to do super duper slow-mo. So that way when we have Pro Pickleball, we could actually have a solid challenge system. If you were able to watch the Beer City Open at MLP a few weeks back, they were the ones doing the production. It was so much better. We could see every single close call. We even got to see a pickleball compress, which is the thing that they always tell you doesn't happen. Well, it does if you just slow it down enough. Anyways, I have great news about Close Call Replay. Starting September 1st, Close Call Replay is going to be doing the production for PPA and MLP. So we did it. We got them in. No more garbage, blurry videos and terrible angles. Close Call Replay is going to change the game, especially when it comes into challenges. So if you want to find out more about what Close Call Replay does, go ahead and check out their Instagram page as well as their website. Link is in the description below for that. Shout out to everybody that has been putting the pressure on PPA and MLP to get this done. But we can't stop here. Once it does come around September 1st, we all got to let them know how much we love this and also how much we need this. Unfortunately, September 1st is quite a bit of ways. And this weekend, we had another reminder on why we desperately need Close Call Replay. So let's get into it. Coming in at the number 1 spot, the Hook of the Week. This is crazy. Check this one out. Slice versus the Black Bears. Brendan Long hits that one. Long? That was way in. Look at him point. He's like, this is where it landed, dude. Martin Emmerich coming in like, come on, guys. And of course, on the Black Bears, the out call is coming from Rafa Hewitt. So just for a little bit of context, don't forget that a few weeks back at BCO, Beer City Open, for MLP, there was this hook, one of the worst ones we've ever seen. And look who's on the court, Rafa Hewitt. So very interesting that he's also on the court for this egregious hook. Brendan Long is not exaggerating when he says the ball landed that far in. So they're not freaking out because they're like, well, we can challenge it. Everything's fine. That's the good news. The bad news is this. They're not able to see it for some reason. Very confusing.
Able to see it.
He's like, there's a camera right here. Is this thing on? Just pull up YouTube on your phone. So let's see this one more time. I mean, you can just see it in regular speed. Here, we'll slow it down frame by frame. I mean, look at that. That is so in. You don't need slow-mo to tell. So the 2 biggest hooks I think I've ever seen since watching Pro Pickleball, all happening while Rafa's on the court. Well, that's going to do it for our recap of MLP this weekend. But before we get out of here, let's play a game of Partner Body Bag Winner Off the Net.
Partner body bag, winner off the net. Partner body bag, winner off the net. Leia Jansen, winner off the net. Bryson McGuffin, winner off the net. Haley Waters, body bag. James McDonald, body bag. Sorry, not sorry, winner off the net. Sorry, not sorry, partner.
All right, Partner Body Bag Winner Off the Net, the game where I'm giving 3 people in the pickleball world, and I got to decide who I'd partner with, who I'd body bag, and who I'd hit a winner off the net against. So this week, the 3 choices are everybody who had something fun happening to them in the Challenger League. We got Rafa Hewitt, who had Hook of the Week. We'll do DJ Young, who had one of the best punts of a pickleball we've seen in a long time. And we'll also do Martin Emmerich, who will give Father of the Weekend award for wrangling his kid in the middle of a game point. So who do I want to partner with? Who do I want to body bag? Who do I want to hit a winner off the net against? I mean, I think I got to partner with Rafa. He's going to hook regardless. So I might as well have him on my team. And then I'm going to body bag DJ Young. I want to get him really angry so that way he does something like ball abuse. That'll give him like, what is it? Orange cards or blue cards, whatever the thing. You know, in soccer, they give the red card. I want him to get one of those in pickleball. That way he loses a few points. And then I'll hit a winner off the net against Martin. He's used to chasing things down, so I'm sure it won't bother him that much. All right, so there you have it. I'm going to partner with Rafa Hewitt. I'm going to body bag DJ Young, and I'm going to hit a winner off the net against Martin Emmerich. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. This will be the last time I'm going to take a break for this long. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button. That helps get this show out to a new audience. If for some reason you're not subscribed, well, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button too. And make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you get notified whenever a new episode is going to drop. Share this episode with your friends. Not everybody can watch pro pickleball. This will help them stay in the loop. Also, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this weekend. What was your favorite moment? Was there anything I missed that you wish I did cover? This weekend, we got the PPA returning back into action, so stay on the lookout for an episode dropping next week. We've got 4 PPAs in a row, so we're going to have some fun this month. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you back next week. Take care.
Forgive me.